Hello people, name's Grimith, welcome to the show. I suppose now that I started the recording, the first thing I wanted to bring up is that the four of you are now minor internet celebrities.
What?
I know. People have been clamoring over how great you guys are and how it's cool that the four of you, that four volunteers I picked from my YouTube viewership have united together and have been great role players thus far.
You're putting me on.
No.
I want to say something, disparaging about that.
And, you know, there was a person or two who really enjoyed all the rape jokes you were making, Aaron.
You're welcome.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back, Dave. I was just telling everyone else how desirable you've become in the YouTube community now for being such great role players who are working together so well thus far. There's been one person who's complained to me about the fact that vampires shouldn't be working together this well, but other than that, everything's good.
Oh, it's okay. I already plan on trying to stab everyone in the back.
Implying we don't already have plans to fuck each other over.
I know, I was like, what the hell? They're not going to reveal their secrets to everyone else, come on.
I mean, we're revealing our plan to make Byron fall for it if we ever fail.
They're
That's
feeling
not
out their
a
oats.
joke. He's the patsy.
Right. And the other thing, too, is that they've been wanting some video recording or at least live streaming or some sort of crazy thing like that. I said I'd pass on the message to the four of you if any of you ever wanted to do that stuff. I'm not, though, because I would show my GM notes and my hidden tokens and everything. That's not cool.
Yeah, I saw that comment. I thought about it, and I mean, maybe I'll just be the big jerk or whatever, but I'm not sure that having a live chat would be conducive to the five of us running a campaign. It would be distraction. But you know, I'm open, whatever.
Oh, it's worth noting that the D&D 3.5 sessions I participate in on every Friday, I do that with Griffin God, and Griffin God does a live broadcast of those.
I have a bit of experience in streaming. I just don't know if I would stream this.
It's fine. I didn't think that any of you guys would be conducive to it. I don't care whether you do or not. It's just if you felt compelled to for people. I'm certainly not going to, though. I have too many things to manage on my GM side to think about that.
If I decide to, I'll do.
Yeah, streaming is one thing. That could go either way. Doing a video of it, I was kind of laughing at a couple of those comments because I'm like, even that still that you gave them on the last one, that's 70% of what we saw the whole game as players. I mean, it's.
I know I showed you guys a few little pretty tokens, but beyond that, you know, that's it. That's because you guys didn't end up getting into any combat, and you might still end up staring at the damn Astoria screen if nothing changes.
Hey, honestly, combat in Vampire should really be like resort number 3 at the highest.
Was there something you wanted to say, Sean?
No, I'm just testing things. I'm having a little bit of trouble.
Oh, okay. Alright then. Monday night, January 5th, 1998. The moon is in first quarter, and it can be easily seen in the cloudless sky. It snowed more during the day, but the heat generated by the concrete jungle managed to melt most of it, leaving only an inch on the ground. Still, the air is bitterly cold, and it reeks of desperation. Your four characters wake up at various times in the night, which actually, given this time of day, sunset is before 5 p.m., and you all end up waking up based on your humanity. Joseph and Byron rise first, followed by David and Marcus. Of course, all of you lose a blood point as you rise for the day, and you awake to the following situations, which I'll go in based upon the time at which you've awoken. Alright, I suppose I'll edit. I have like my TeamSpeak re-recording that kept going even after I got disconnected. I might edit a little bit of that in or not. It depends on my mood. Let me go ahead and rehost the server for you all.
You should definitely put the recording up unedited and uncensored, so they can feel what we feel.
All right,
But is
server's
it gonna
been
be television?
server's been rehosted again. I hope that's not a common theme and that was just a hiccup, or we're gonna have problems. I'll have to cell phone text message you all.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Alright, let's see, so yeah, your 4 characters wake up at various times in the night based on humanity. Joseph and Byron rise first, followed by David and Marcus. All of you lost a blood point as you rise for the night, of course, and you awake to the following situations, which are based upon your humanity. Sean, your character, Joseph, if hunger is measured as under 7 minus self-control, then you find yourself awakening earlier than usual at the behest of the beast. You are hungry, and as you've learned during your time as a vampire, it's a fool's errand to deny your urges. Fortunately, one of your crazy cult herd has appeared at the designated time as ordered.
Yeah, there was actually a few notes that I had that I wanted to say to my retainers before I went to sleep.
Okay, what were your notes then to your retainers?
To Rain, I first wanted to see if Cutter had an idea, then call up Reese or one of the other guys in the police and get a full life story on her. After that, I wanted her to go up to Staten Island and see if she could dig up a ghoul. I'd be willing to give a boon to anyone that could keep Cutter safe on Staten Island, as long as they actually do keep her safe. After that, I wanted to say to Craig to call up 2 of my herd and see if could get them there in the morning or in the evening, night start.
Okay, it's worth noting that Leslie Cutter, she doesn't have an ID on her, and she is very hungry. You know, you haven't spent a whole lot of time with her, and she's managed to maintain a bit of her control thus far inside your crazy room, but it's difficult for you to know how she might respond if she's actually let out in the open.
Yeah, I'm not intending to let her feed on my herd. I'm intending to let her feed through me.
Okay,
Through
so
a cup.
you still want to let her out in some sort of a trip to go to Staten Island?
After the day, I want Rain to see if there's someone who can take care of her. I want her to contact a ghoul during the day. If she could get a vampire during the day, that'd be better, but I'm highly doubtful of that.
So some sort of ghoul or whatever on Staten Island. Who exactly are you looking for?
Pretty much anyone that can actually keep her safe. Someone that I'm not sure, I don't think my character, Joseph, knows much about every detail of everything. So someone that he'd be willing to trust, I guess. Just pretty much anyone he'd be willing to trust to keep her safe.
Alright, it's possible that spending your time in New York City, and how nice of a guy you are, even though you've hidden your anarch inclinations from other people, that, you know, one of your ghouls, by putting in your name, could get a hold of some sort of, you know, anarch who would be interested in potentially looking after Leslie Cutter then. That's fine. And 2 of your herd in that case, whenever you arise for the day, 2 of your herd, as you have ordered, have arrived. And as for the information, that might have to wait, regards to that. Moving on. Byron, immediately upon awakening, you noticed you have a missed call and voicemail from Evelyn O'Malley, sent at 5:32 p.m., less than an hour after sunset. It's 7:44 p.m. right now, so the call wasn't too long ago. Would you like to listen to it?
I would.
Alright, from the beginning of the short message, you realize there's something wrong. Her light voice sounds weak, and the words sort of tumble out of her mouth. 3 men, dark suits, came by after closing, only I was here, said there was a new power moving into Astoria, said they liked the business and its influence here, said they were going to make sure nothing ever came of it, and said they wanted payment for the service. There's a gross noise as Evelyn spits something up, and there's briefly a steely quality to her voice. As if I'd ever betray you. Then there's a pause. But you might have to find someone else. And then there's a click. as the message ends. Sean, back to you and your character. What would you like to do?
Well, I'd kind of like
Sean,
to
Sean,
step
not
out-
you. Shh.
Oh, I thought you said, sorry.
What would Joseph like to do, Sean? Maybe we lost him.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I'm constantly pressing the wrong key because I changed my binding.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to spend 1 willpower on my first herd, on my first feeding, so that on my roll to not go crazy for the night.
Say, well, there's more than that that's going to be involved. Because your character is hungry, and as soon as you bite into the flesh, I'm gonna need you to make a self-control check at difficulty 6 to avoid frenzying.
Yeah, so I should have 3 checks, 1 for self-control first feeding, 1 for not going crazy, and then another one when I feed a second time for not going crazy and hearing the voices.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and resolve the avoid frenzying thing first. Each success will allow you to stave off frenzy for a turn. 5 successes means you're not under threat at all. If you fail, you can start spending willpower points to maintain control, but you're still going to be in frenzy mode, and if you botch, you might not have to worry immediately about spending the other willpower points. And I think you will have to rejoin the server, since it doesn't look like you did after I had to rehost it.
Strange, it was saying I was joined to the server.
Oh well. It's Java. Okay, that's 1 success. In which case, that will allow you to feed from blood for a turn. Just go ahead and keep rolling the successes then, until you avoid frenzy or not. Although, I suppose that's not... The 9 and the 1 cancel each other out. That's a failure then. Shit.
Good times.
Okay, in that case, that's going to immediately, as soon upon you tasting the blood, that's going to put you into an emotional rampage. Basically, you're in frenzy now, as long as you're hungry. You can start spending willpower points to maintain control for a turn, and I'll actually allow you another self-control check whenever you're no longer hungry, which means after a turn of you feeding, which I suppose will be straight up 3 blood points.
Okay, so 1 willpower down to control myself for that turn.
Yeah. Let's not worry so much about the sanguinary animism right now. In that case, you have, now that you're at blood pool of 6, and with that, the fact that, you know, you're frenzying due to the hunger, you've managed to temporarily calm yourself down. Oh, I suppose rather than temporarily, we'll just go ahead and say, you've got that, especially with the 10. We'll go ahead and rule that. Now, because we have other rolls for you to be making, you fucking Malkavian bastard.
I want to spend another willpower point on that
Okay.
to manage to suppress that, because I just need 1 success, and it doesn't matter how many I get, and because willpower can't cancel out those successes, it's an automatic success on that.
Yeah, I agree. Willpower is something that can be allowed on that one, sure. Did you want to feed any more from this first vessel? You've taken 3 blood points from her.
No, I only wanted 2 in the first place.
Okay. In that case, she is weakened. She was not expecting you to be so forceful, but you're a nice guy, and she's a part of your crazy, creepy Malkavian cult. She'll get over it. That puts your blood pool at 6 now. What did you want to do with your second herd person?
And with my second herd, I wanted to do the same, feed just a couple.
Okay, did you want to spend another willpower point to avoid sanguinary animism roll?
I think I'm going to risk the crazy.
Okay. Are you just alone with your two herd members here? Like, I just want an idea of where exactly you are.
I want Craig to be there because he's actually physically stronger than me,
Okay.
as is everyone.
Looks like this is going to be a difficulty 6, and of course you've spent one of your willpower points, so it's going to be one less for you. And like you have fewer willpower, although it doesn't matter, you rolled a 7.
And a
Yes.
1.
Oh shit, he did.
Fucking damn it.
Alright,
At least I'm not the only one.
if the roll fails, then the images in your mind are so strong that it is akin to having a second personality inside of you. Angry and reproachful personality that seeks to cause harm to the vampire and her associates. Holy fucking shit.
This is why I have a crazy room, and this is why Craig is supposed to be next to me when I'm feeding.
Okay. For the purposes of that, you're immediately paralyzed as this herd person who is so docile normally. You feel her soul raging in your brain as she screams at you for taking advantage of such people and, dominating them and stealing their money and what have you. And Craig, trained to recognize the senses of this, is Leslie still in the room?
No, I don't want her anywhere nearby when I'm feeding.
Is she still in the crazy room? Like, where are you going to be put?
Yeah, I want her kept in the crazy room because I was intending to feed her from me after that.
So what's Craig going to do with you? What is he trained to do in this situation?
Supposed to put me in my crazy room.
Right, so what's plan B?
I'm not sure I thought of one. I think that might be up to Craig.
I suppose in that case, then, Craig will mention to the other herd people that, you're channeling the spirit of God and whatever, and, although your body is struggling and, you're tempted to burn your blood pool, you're still too disabled by the raging inside your head, and they manage to tie you up inside your own bedroom, where you are struggling and there's just a series of loud yelling, and this room's not soundproof, I don't think. You're just angry at everything, like, I gotta redeem! It's a fucking vampire soulless machine! Ah! You're out of commission. Fantastic. Let's see. That lasts for the entire night.
Yep, until we just get a few minutes before sundown or sunup.
All right. Okay. I suppose I won't have to worry about giving you any information or whatever about the fate of Leslie Cut or anything. Man, I hope they remember to feed her.
I trust Craig to be able to overpower me. Heck, I trust, anyone to be able to overpower me.
See, the problem is that since your plan was to try to handle Leslie's feeding through yourself, they don't have any direct orders on how they were supposed to handle feeding Leslie if you fuck-snapped.
And also note that Leslie's lost a blood point now, unless she feeds somewhere else.
No, she definitely lost a blood point. And there's no telling exactly how much she might have in her system. You two gave her 2.
Right, and she may have used 1 to kind of heal her. I'm just thinking she might be batshit insane at this point. But
We'll see.
This gonna be good.
We'll just focus back on Byron here, since your character still did wake up earlier than the other two, and it's going to take some time before they rise as well. You just heard the voicemail from Evelyn. What would you like to do?
I know that Marcus has a cell phone. I'll leave a voicemail on his, telling him that Evelyn might be in trouble and/or dead, and he might want to, when he gets up, meet me down at the office. And I don't know, I mean David, not Marcus, but Marcus, do you have a cell phone as well?
Hell no.
Yeah, so I guess I don't call you and tell you, but Byron's going to head down there and kind of scope the place out from a distance and see if he sees anything moving in there before he goes in.
That's
I have
fine.
an answering machine.
What, the crazy guy doesn't get a call?
Well, okay, yes, I left that out. He doesn't know that you're batshit crazy at the moment. So yeah, he calls everyone.
Craig will pick up the phone and inform you that Joseph is currently indisposed.
I will leave Craig. I'll say, okay, there's a problem down at the real estate office or whatever we call that. And if he'd get in touch with one of us, that'd be super, super awesome.
Craig informed you that Joseph is probably going to be indisposed until tomorrow, but he will see what he can do.
Okay, Byron doesn't trust that one bit. He would be right over there seeing what's going on because he knows Evelyn was there, or not Evelyn, Leslie. But he's got bigger things on his mind, so he's still going to run down to the office.
Okay.
And
So,
he probably called Joseph. I'll say he called him first, just because he would have wanted to check in on see what was going on with Leslie. But then he'll call Marcus and David, leave them messages, and tell them all of the information that Joseph is indisposed and that Evelyn is in trouble, possibly dead, and shit's going down.
okay. It's gonna take you so much time to get down there to the office that now well, I suppose Marcus Jordan, does Marcus's character, like in the answering machine, is like the ringer on? Because he is a light sleeper, isn't he?
Yes. The answering machine, the light is on, and all that stuff.
Okay, is there something that your character would actually wake up to? A phone call and hearing Byron's voice?
He would listen to it for a minute, and then decide to go back to, well, I don't know if they can go back to repose, but either way, he would basically listen to it. Is it just Byron being Byron, or is it Byron saying something important?
Alright, fine. It takes another hour, then we'll head to David, Aaron's character. Whenever you wake up, David, the woman you embrace in the morning still has not risen. She lays lifeless in your haven, and her body is well on its way to decomposition. You had also mentioned that you wanted to see what you can do about preserving the Ouroboros, and as you check through the items that you brought back from the warehouse, from the Steinway Warehouse District, warehouse number 13 to be exact, you discovered the peculiar circle of flesh you had attempted to preserve, the Ouroboros, has crumbled into ash. What would your character like to do? Oh, and I suppose you might have a message from Byron, the patsy.
Yeah, I'm sure that can wait for some other time. I guess I'm going to go and either buy, if I think I can do it without, getting too many questions, or steal a bag of cement mix.
A bag of cement mix? Well, given you're obfuscated and not many people have the ability to perceive you through your obfuscate, it wouldn't be too difficult. It would be awkward enough. It would just be time consuming for you to find a bag of cement mix that you could, I suppose, alternatively, you could attempt to buy one, but, I mean, who are you going to try to buy that from? Your face is kind of, fucked up.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, that'll go ahead and take your character some time too then, but that's fine. In that case, Marcus, it is time for you to rise.
As a side note, I'm also going to try and get like a sledgehammer and a shovel while I'm out.
You want that in a bag?
Hey, I've got potence. I can carry it.
I guess I'll see what Byron wants. Asshole.
Alright, yeah, it's worth noting that, as you wake up, nothing of merit has occurred in your haven or immediately outside of it, Marcus. No sheriff, no Theo Bell, no scourge, no one waiting to question you or punish you for the actions of your coterie. In this case, you receive Byron's voicemail and all it entailed.
Damn it. Just when I thought tonight was going to be, somewhat peaceful.
Monday night, man.
I've got a heavy case of Mondays. but I guess I'll go down to the office and meet Byron.
All right, Byron, you've arrived first at, I don't exactly know what you guys wanted to name your real estate business. Kindred Anonymous? I don't know.
Nothing suspicious going on here, Incorporated.
There we go. It's not a big
Something-
place.
Something entirely unrelated to us, like Fisher and Sons.
Okay. It's not an entirely big place. It's not overly difficult. There's 2 stories onto it, and Evelyn's office is on the 2nd floor. As you're attempting to do some little scope out things, Byron, let's see, street, businesses have mostly shut down by this point. It's time to head home, Monday night as it were. We're now in in close to 9 p.m., so there's not a whole lot of businesses that are going to be open on a Monday night at 9 p.m. You're looking around, traffic is fairly light for the area. The light is still on in Evelyn's office, but it doesn't look like from this distance that there's been any, damage to the actual building itself.
Do I see any movement at all on any floor?
You do not know. There's movement outside. It's some light traffic on the streets, both vehicles and, maybe a person or two walking about. It's fucking New York City. So that's going to be unescapable no matter what, but nothing inside of your building, no.
All right, is there a back door that might open directly onto the main staircase for the place that I can go into and maybe try to listen up the stairs, see if there's anybody up there?
Sure.
All right, I do that with his awesome stealth skills. He's going to open the back door and stand at the bottom of the staircase like a derp. But let's see if he doesn't die.
All right, I suppose the first thing is, what is that stealth roll? Is it, I suppose you would know best, Aaron.
Sorry, what's the role he's trying to make?
Stealth.
Or
sneaking. Dexterity plus stealth. There we go.
Right.
What's the difficulty?
We'll say 6.
I was more making sure that it wasn't going to be some sort of social stealth.
Yeah. Do you actually have stealth on your character? You do not. So in that case, this will be 1 point harder for you, so difficulty 7.
Right. I didn't see what I got on that. I was paging over.
All right.
I thought it was a -1 die penalty, not an increase in
Okay, -1 die penalty. So, well,
I'm going to take a mulligan on that one with my lucky perk. I'm going to use one of those and re-roll it, see if I do any better.
Because otherwise that would be a botch, yeah.
I still fail, so I'll take that. Oh well, they hear me, I guess.
So yeah, since Aaron was right there, and that since you don't have the skill, it'd be a -1 die then. So it's just a 5. Okay, so that was a failure. All right. You think you might have been stealthy as you open the back door and creep into the main staircase. You don't hear anything in response to you, though. You said you wanted to attempt to listen, so how about perception plus alertness? No penalty on that, even though you don't have alertness because it's a talent.
All right, I'm going to have to change this to speak thing. It's page down. It keeps disrupting what I'm doing. All right.
Right control key is pretty unobtrusive for me, but to each his own. You, it's 2 successes. Squinting and focusing your thoughts, you think you hear, light labored breathing coming from up the staircase. Beyond that, though, nothing else.
All right, I'll go up the stairs and check. I think it's probably Evelyn up there, so I'm going to go see if she needs help.
Okay.
Not going to be very stealthy.
All right. You enter the Evelyn's office. She's, as you've known, because you were the one who turned her into being a ghoul, she's pretty, being socially awkward, she's taking comfort in, books and numbers. And as such, she's very meticulous and crafty in the numbers that she takes, and, she's fastidious in overall appearance, because that matters. At least, like an area's appearance, because it helps her be more efficient at work. Thus, this would be the first time you've actually seen the office in disarray. Filing cabinets have been pushed over, a lamp has been knocked down, a chair has been smashed. Evelyn herself is slumped over her desk, her hand resting on the telephone. She's unconscious, and as you look her over, there's no lethal wounds that have been put on, but she has been bruised and battered considerably. Her glasses are broken. Frames and lenses, and they've been tossed against the wall. She's breathing. As a ghoul, as a normal person anyway, this is something she could recover from on her own, but it had knocked her unconscious due to just the strain of everything. You know that she's not exactly a tough person anyway, even after being a ghoul, so it's possible that the strain of it just made her faint where she's been. She only had enough strength to call you.
I see. Well, see if we can wake her, and I think that if I were to give her some blood now, that would help her heal. I'm not sure how it works with ghouls.
See, she has a blood pool of 2. She's got a blood point currently in her system. You can attempt to give her some blood, and she could definitely use that to restore her body. She doesn't have
I'll
a
do
vast
that.
blood pool.
I'll see if I can resuscitate her that way.
Okay. Let's see, let's go back to Marcus. Marcus, you've arrived at the office area. Byron is not outside. Front door looks closed. Nothing looks immediately damaged. There's a light up on the 2nd floor in Evelyn's room. Might be a shadow moving around up there, you think. What do you want to do?
God damn it, Byron. I guess I'm gonna go in the office and find out who's up there, because if they're a thief, I'm gonna have to take care of him.
Okay. Would you like to go through the front door?
Does the front door seem unlocked?
Front door is unlocked when you try it.
I'll go to the front door.
Nothing looks at disarray at all over the 1st floor. As you move in, so you go into the staircase, and as you're heading up to the floor to 2nd stage, Byron, you hear someone walking up the steps. Marcus, you hear Evelyn's breathing from her office.
Boom chicka wow wow. I draw my gun and point it at the door.
Do I know it's Evelyn's breathing?
I don't know. One lick stick sounds just the same, right? It's a fair assumption that it would be Evelyn's breathing.
But it sounds like someone sleeping or unconscious, not like someone doing work.
No, it sounds like someone who's, you could say unconscious, yeah. And it's obviously strained in that regard.
So who's ever in the office is not breathing.
Does his auspex let him hear that a gun has been drawn?
Yeah, there is a slight precognition roll.
There certainly is a slight precognition roll for that. I checked that up too. In that case, that would be something that hold on. You have a supernatural sense. A really good supernatural sense, but from what I rolled here, that there is something dangerous behind the door, and that a gun is pointed at it.
Well then, knowing that, I'm just gonna say put the gun down.
Byron, you hear Marcus telling you to put the gun down.
I'll say, yeah, get your ass in here. We got a problem. And Byron, given one of the rumors that he has, he's going to probably say, I think some mooks came in here and beat up Evelyn, because he thinks it's the mafia that's thinking of moving in to Queens.
The mafia, you mean Sicilian mafia?
That, I believe, is what it was. I'd have to check my rumors exactly for the way Grimith put it. He says the Fratelli Mortal Organization crime family based in Manhattan is looking to expand their protection racket into Western Queens. That was one of his rumors. So he thinks it might be them.
Have you checked her? Have you checked Evelyn's injuries?
I think I was giving her a blood point, have done it, or am about to. I'm not sure.
You were about to give her a blood point.
Marcus is going to look around the room and see if there's anything that's obviously missing, because I'm pretty sure he's seen this room when it's, like, pretty well put together.
Yep, go ahead and give me Perception plus Investigation on that.
Alright.
Say,
I'm assuming difficulty 6.
Yeah, difficulty 6. Doesn't look like anything is missing from this room. It's just been trashed. All of the meticulous work that Evelyn has put into organizing records and whatever, it's just been, there's paper scattered and strewn around everywhere. It's more along the lines of, say, disrespecting her and her immediate area to perhaps intimidate or frighten her.
Whoever this wasn't looking to take anything from us.
No, I think they're trying to scare us and take over the business. That's what it sounded like on the phone call I got.
You give her the blood point, but she's not conscious. And so she's a ghoul, and since she's not, like, immediately dying, her body's not going to use the blood point.
You should probably call an ambulance. Either way.
You do notice that, as I said, like, although you don't have severe medical training, she's only wounded. This is something she can recover from on her own, especially because she's a ghoul.
Yeah, I'm going to be against police involvement. If I think she's going to be okay, then there's no point getting cops and hospitals involved.
Unless she's really dying, a ghoul can heal from just about anything a vampire can.
Yeah.
They're just fucked up by guns a lot more than we are.
But there's certainly no gun holes on her. She has just been thrashed, most likely with fists. But it could have been some other form of blunt instrument. They left her alone. Obviously, she was conscious enough after they, or whoever left, to call you, before she finally slumped due to the strain of everything.
Well, if we're going to find out who did this, we need to start asking around.
Right. So the rumor that I heard, Grimith, do I have any idea where in Manhattan we could start looking, or is it just somewhere on the island?
Let's see. For that, you would need to give me a wits plus streetwise, which I know you don't have, so it's just going to be your 4 dice. This is going to be, for you, since you're unfamiliar with the city, a difficulty 8. The 1 cancels out the 10. You know they're based somewhere in Manhattan.
Well, but I have 4. Wait, what's the thing in wits I have?
Witty bon mots. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, that's for conversation. That means I can say some just totally witty things, blow people away. That doesn't help here. So yeah, I fail.
Would you allow me to make a roll?
If it's been mentioned to you and you're curious about that, then yeah, sure.
Yeah, Byron will relay his suspicions that it might be the crime family over there that did this. Because this seems kind of like a protection racket beat up.
And because you are more familiar with the city, this will be a difficulty 7 for you.
Nope.
In that case, you're like, Fratelli crime family? Are you sure? I thought those were in the Bronx.
Yeah, that's a botch.
Yep. Yeah. In that case, Marcus is completely baffled. The Fratelli crime family? The eel concept of, you thought that, they were relatively nice people from what the news said. They did some protection stuff and some extortionism and maybe did some gambling and loan sharking, but Last you heard, they were still, maybe even totally content over in Manhattan. Why would the hell they even want to come to Queens?
They're pillars of the community.
I basically say that to Byron.
Byron says, fuck. And so he's going to try to get David on the phone again, assuming that you're kind of in the middle of something. So, but he's going to try anyway.
So what sort of role might be required if your phone starts ringing while you're trying to obfuscate, Aaron?
I think that they had phones on a vibrate back then, didn't they?
They did, or you could have just turned it off. That
It would be on vibrate.
Alright. That's fair. In that case, I suppose, wherever you are currently in your establishment getting the cement mix, sledgehammer, and shovel, people will look around a little curiously thinking they hear some phantom noise, but, if they were, more aware of what a vampire could do, perhaps they would be more suspicious, but they're not.
Okay, I'll head to a bathroom stall to answer this.
Okay.
All right, Byron gives him the quick and dirty of what's going on and asks if you know anything about where this crime family might be, and if you have any ideas of who else it may have been, then let him know.
This is pretty much right up your alley, Aaron.
It totally is.
Not only that,
Right.
but given your familiarity with anything, this is just a straight difficulty 6 roll for you, wits plus streetwise.
Okay.
This is given not just the fact that you've lived here in the city, but your extensive knowledge in criminal affairs.
In before 3 watches.
Nope.
Yeah, definitely not. That is 4 successes. So first off, you remember that Vito Fratelli, the head of the Fratelli crime family, is currently doing time in Rikers for
Right.
stupid shit, like B misdemeanors, just a collection of them. Since Rikers Island is a jail rather than a prison, it was just a whole thing. Like, Vito Fratelli is an older man, and it was just some sort of situation where he got overconfident, the evidence was irrefutable, but the police couldn't find anything else. So they're like, fuck you, go to jail for 5 months. And he's still rumored to still be pulling the strings of the Fratelli family. The man currently in charge is a punk. Well, by a punk, he's seen his own share of rough and tumble named Lorenzo Fratelli. And his current establishment, his base of operations from your extensive criminal knowledge and what you know, since you like to keep track of these things, is actually an upper-class restaurant and bar named the Middleman, located in lower Manhattan, around the Turtle Bay area, just outside of Valentine's Domain.
And, okay. This is actually a good opportunity to pursue something that I've been wanting to pursue for a while. I'm just deciding how much I'm going to actually tell these guys.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to not, tell them any of this stuff just, straight up, but I am going to say that they should see if they can find out who the cooks at Rikers Island are, and see if they can figure out where the bartenders at that high-class bar and restaurant live.
Okay, I guess we could try to do that. Sure.
Good. Call me if you find anything else out. I should be free later tonight to help.
On the bright side, I do have a contact with bar owners. I forgot to name the exact bar owner I am in contact with, but
That's fine.
it's basically this small. No, there's this one. Let me just reiterate. Contacts are one single guy and a small penumbra of other guys that are associated with it. Correct?
Right.
So I can make some calls around, see if I can find a bartender who knows me, bar owner or bartender who knows me and could tell me this information.
Sure.
Okay. Byron, I need to borrow your phone.
Yeah, he tosses it to him. It's like, sure, don't run up too many minutes calling girlfriends.
Okay, by the looks of things, to successfully get in touch with some contact things, you should roll your contacts rating at difficulty 7, according to the book.
Well, this is awkward. Nope.
There's you ring up those folks, those establishments that you've been into, played gigs at, people you've met over the varying months and years and what have you. Everyone you can get a hold of doesn't know anything. The middleman is a really well-to-do establishment, and it's just not the sort of people you interact with. There is a severe employment screening before anyone's allowed to work there.
Well, I'm fresh out of ideas.
Aaron, what would your character like to do after he's acquired the cement mix, the sledgehammer, and the shovel?
Break open a section of his abandoned subway tunnel.
Okay.
Large enough to stash a body in.
Alright. That's with a sledgehammer and your potence and natural vampiric strength and endurance, that's not a problem for you other than time.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, Joseph's still like...
Yeah, this has got to be really, really interesting for you, huh? Listening to all of us go through all this.
There is so much pain and anguish going through his head. The soul that he thinks he has consumed, the victim that has taken over, wants to do so many things. Even though she is still very much alive. But the Malkavian's insane. So, you know.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to think of what Byron's going to do. He's got two choices. First is try to... What time of night is it? Is it like, 9 or 10 or something like that at this point?
We'll currently say all the time that you spend standing around the office. You're looking at 10:15 a.m. I mean p.m., sorry.
Oh, God.
I was going to say, okay, so we're dead. That's cool.
Joseph's the only survivor.
Quickly,
Yes,
into the basement.
All right, well, what I'm going to, not that Marcus is really going to have my best interest at heart, but I'll still run it by him and say, all right, I see two ways we can do this. I can go, not you, because I don't think you would pass, but I could try to impersonate some sort of government official at Rikers Island and try to get records for the cook staff, which should not be that hard to get. I can just say I'm, working on some mayoral committee and I just want to do that. Or I could go see Valentine and see if I can get information from him, but that's going to cost probably in some way, shape, or form. And I'll just leave it. I'm kind of ambivalent about both.
I think you should go to Rikers Island.
All right, I'll go there and see.
It is worth noting as a reminder that Rikers Island, this is something that information that you all got, was the suggested domain, although perhaps not directly the haven of the Malkavian Carter van der Weyden. And I believe there is a little information bullet that's hovering above the Rikers Island on the Queen's map.
It's not showing on mine. Yeah, it is.
Interesting.
I was thinking the wrong island. Durr.
I was about to say, interesting. It says it's visible to players.
In that case, we might need his permission before we do what I have planned.
Anyway, while you're going to do that, I'm going to go gossip. Well, what are we going to do with Evelyn? Shouldn't we take her, home or something?
Yeah, that'd be the nice thing to do, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think we should probably take her home and put her in her bed and leave her a nice note.
How do you plan on getting
wants
to her home? It's not too far, but you guys don't have a car. You're going to be carrying her body.
You should
Okay,
just
one.
leave her there to recover and get well soon card.
Well, I mean, we could put one arm around me, one arm around Marcus, and we could just say she's really drunk or she's having a bad trip. Well, that wouldn't be a bad trip, but she's just zonked out. We could. It's 10-15. Maybe she's a lightweight. She's not very big.
No, she's very easy for even one of you to just, Byron's not that strong, but, I suppose, yeah, with 2 strength, she's very thin, waif thin, so, especially when combined with the 2 of you, you 2 could support her. It's just that she looks more than she's drunk. She's kind of roughed up.
Okay,
All
so
right,
we either
well-
have to leave her here alone, or we have to call an ambulance.
I'm not saying you guys can't try to sneak through the streets at night with her. It's just that, you know, I thought I'd bring it up as a fair point of mention.
Marcus, do you know anything about medicine, or was that David that did? Someone did. I can't remember.
That's me.
Yeah, all right. Well, we're hosed then. We can't even make a roll on that. Well,
You guys can always call. You guys
Say
can always
again?
call my. You guys can always call my goals.
but would they do it? I mean, you're kind of in a state. I mean,
Even
we
if I'm
could.
in a, I mean, they know you, right? So there'd be no reason, and they know that I'm have stakes in there, so there'd be no
Right.
reason unless they're doing something that they consider more important on my behalf.
Say, would Craig consider watching over you during this condition, especially since he can't put you in the crazy room, more important?
Well, I don't know what exactly he'd decide to do, but I do have 2 ghouls.
Right, the second ghoul, obviously you just sent her out during the day to try to get some contact information and stuff. She might be tired.
Fuck her, it's tired. She'll do what I want her to do.
Well,
Second MVP.
currently I imagine you're screaming, "Get me out of these bindings!"
Well, yeah, okay. Maybe not what I tell her to do, but what would be sensible for her to do.
Well, if all else fails, I can try to make a manipulation roll, and I can convince one of them, please help. It would be in, Joseph's best interest to get over here.
That shouldn't be necessary. I assumed you have the contact number for, perhaps not so much Craig, but the other ghoul. What is it that you have in mind to ask her?
Just that it looks like that Evelyn's been beaten up over here, and we want to go figure out who did it, but we need someone to take care of Evelyn and make sure she's wakes up okay and has someone next to her when she does.
Sean, I'm pretty sure she can drive, right?
Or she could just take her back to her house or apartment.
Yeah.
That'd work too. If she brings a car over, we can just load her up and take her over there, and then it wouldn't waste what's her name's time, the girl ghoul. Forgot her name already. Not mine, but Joseph's.
Rain.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Does she have a point in the drive skill, Sean?
Yeah, they both do.
I thought so. In that case, yeah, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Then it's not, overly violent, not asking her to do too much, and it seems perfectly reasonable. It would take her some time to drive from Flushing to, where you guys are, Astoria, but it's not out of the way.
I can wait.
All right, I was going to say that if you wanted to go, I could wait, or I could go and you could wait. Either way. So you're going to wait for him, Rain, was it? And I guess I'll try to see if I can find that crazy Malk over on Rikers. And, I mean, either way, we're going to be owing somebody something if we go to Valentine or this other dude. So
How are you going to attempt to find someone?
that's a good question, because I have no idea where to begin looking. So it might be worthwhile just to go straight to Valentine, because I know where to find him.
Well, you have an idea of where his domain is, but obviously you don't know what these individual vampires do on their days. It'd be like, if someone was trying to look for you and showed up in Astoria, they'd have to still look over the entirety of Astoria.
We You know, Marcus and I might have to make a visit to Greenwich or something to talk to, what is it, Arturo or Helene?
Yeah, Thomas
or one of
Arturo.
Yeah, one of those harpies. They might know. Again, we're getting into
See,
old people.
see,
I
again,
was-
you're in the
that's what I was thinking
situation.
anyways.
Again, you're in the
That's what I was gonna do
situation
anyways.
where you know where their domain is, but you don't know exactly where they are in the city at any given point.
Yeah, well, I don't know. What do you think, Jordan? What should we do here?
I was just going to go to one of the many Queens locations that is a hotspot for Toreador activity and ask around there. Barring that, I had no other plans.
So, what were you looking to ask about? What was Marcus looking to ask about?
Well, I was looking to see if any of the Toreadors had heard anything about any crime families moving from Manhattan to here. But not the Fraticellis or whatever their name is.
The
They're nice guys. They won't
Fratellis.
come. The Fratellis, they're not coming over. They're nice guys. You know. Like, if anyone is going over to Astoria, is anyone's going over to Astoria, and I'm also going to ask if anyone knows if the Scourge was out hunting a couple of nights ago. Basically,
Asking about the Scourge might be might be an iffy
idle
topic.
gossip. It's idle gossip, and I have some things I have some information that I want to gossip about as well.
Okay. I mean, you are a Toreador. It's fine.
I'm going to need to borrow a jacket, though.
All right, well, Byron just takes his off his back and gives it to you. I mean, it's just easier. He could run by his house or his apartment before he does anything. It's no big deal.
All right, thanks. I need to look at least presentable, I guess, to the other Toreadors. I haven't showered today.
Yeah, it is, just to let you know, it is a blue pinstripe is what you have on now. So you probably should be able to just throw jeans on and look pretty decent.
A blue pinstripe over his subtle punk rocker clothes.
It's so subtle.
I'm sorry. I had to recover from laughing. Okay, I'm good.
All right, well, I guess Byron will just go to Elysium and see if there's anyone there, and he'll do much the same thing. He'll put out feelers about Fraticelli and also about the Malkavian on Rikers, and if maybe someone knows where to reach Valentine.
Okay. I spelled out the name, by the way. Fratelli. No, it's Fratelli. Don't correct me on my fictitious names. Okay, you two scatter off then to go your own places. Marcus has the entirety of Queens. You can just go check various hotspots. There's, of course, the Public School 1 Contemporary Arts Center, other sorts of various places. We'll handle those in a few minutes. David, looks like you got yourself a body-sized hole.
Well, I'm going to see if that body I have has any, like, identification or anything on it.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
There actually is. The you search the woman's clothing. She doesn't have a whole lot on her, but there is a driver's license. Her name is was, before you killed her, Jennifer Morris, 33 years old, and the listed address is one you know of, a low-income housing tenement near Steinway. There is a key in her brassiere, along with where the driver's license was. Beyond that, though, nada. And if you're looking at the map tool map, we'll say right there, in that area.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put that aside, those items, and then put her in the hole and get the concrete ready.
Okay, Elysium's there's 2 Elysium spots. Those are fairly easy to get to. Byron, let's see you make some, how about this? Perhaps, we'll We'll say maybe charisma plus etiquette rolls?
Okay, that'll be
These will be at difficulty, we'll